What do you think of when you hear the term Greek god physique? Chances are you're picturing a physique that's muscular, lean, symmetrical, and aesthetic. The ancient Greeks believed that the perfect male body was a symbol of status and power, and it was highly valued in their society. And it's not just the ancient Greeks who admired the Greek god physique. Many people, even today, find it desirable and attractive.
So how can you achieve a Greek god physique in today's world? Here's 5 things to consider.
Training.
So let's talk training. Now if you look at an ideal Greek god physique, you can see the highlighted areas are the bolder shoulders, a broad chest, and thick and dense arms. So you want to pick movements that emphasize these muscles and develop these muscles in particular. Focus on compound movements, exercises like the bench press, an overhead press, or squats. These exercises work 2 to 3 muscles and you can lift the heaviest weight on them, as opposed to isolation exercise. That's not to say that you should not include isolation exercises. I believe it's a good combination where you have primarily the beginning of your workout should be a heavy compound lift and you add it on with some isolation exercises. So for example, you're focusing on your push day, you would do something like a bench press, a military press, and then add in a few isolation exercises like an overhead tricep extension or some lateral raises. So the thing is, you focus on compound movements, hitting the gym at least 3 times a week, wherein you get 2 to 3 times of stimulation per muscle group. On top of that, the main thing, guys, is to take away is that you're progressively overloading. If you're not progressively overloading, you're not likely to be optimizing your workout, because that is the foundation of muscle growth, muscle hypertrophy. You need to be progressively overloading for your muscles to then realize, oh, this guy's giving me a shit ton of work, I'm gonna have to get harder and stronger. You need to give it a stimulus to adapt. This goes in life as well. So you need to lift heavy enough, train close to failure. That's another key takeaway, wherein you actually force your muscles to grow. So your workout should look something like this. Focusing on the primarily compound movements, adding weight to it, if not reps. But in a compound movement, you particularly don't do more than 15 reps. It's not to say that it's bad, but to get the best bang for your buck, lift the heaviest you can. You want to stay anywhere between 5 to 10 reps of a compound lift and use the additional high rep movements for isolation movements like bicep curls or lateral raises and stuff like that, because you're directly targeting on one muscle. Another thing to note, guys, is that there are a few things that might be outside of your control, like your genetics. Genetics can tell you a lot of things, whether how much muscle you can put on, or whether you have great genetics, basic genetics. The key takeaway is it doesn't matter. What matters is you do your best, you put in the work, and you're going to be a better, fitter version of yourself. When it comes to achieving that Greek god physique, not everyone can achieve that physique that's idolized, because it all depends on symmetry. The best you can do is work out, fix your muscle imbalances, work on having a symmetrical aesthetic physique by choosing the right movements, progressively overloading on them, and maintaining a lean body fat percentage.
Nutrition.
Now, to attain a Greek god physique as a vegan, this is a crucial important part of the process. Nutrition not only is important for you to actually build the muscle tissue, but the amount of calories you consume directly ties into your overall body composition. How you eat is important for achieving that look.
For those of you who want to lose body fat, you need to find out your TDEE. Your TDEE is basically your total daily energy expenditure. This means the amount of calories that you burn throughout the day while maintaining your body weight. You need to find your TDEE and subtract 500 from it to start losing weight. So for those of you who actually want to gain muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus. This means you need to add 300 to 500 calories on top of your current daily caloric intake. Now, you don't want to increase your calories too much too soon, because you actually don't need a huge surplus to gain muscle. Muscle requires very little amount of calories, and starting with 300 and slowly ramping up to 500 is a good strategy. Both these strategies are for 2 different types of people. If you feel like you're on the higher end with higher body fat, a bigger belly, then I suggest you start cutting down first. However, if you're like most people and you're skinny fat or don't have significant amount of muscle, I would recommend lean bulking or starting to gain muscle with a slight calorie surplus.
You want to focus on getting enough protein, so particularly a high protein diet along with complex carbohydrates and healthy fats, so that you can perform your best in your workout and actually give your muscle the nutrients they need to grow. Some good sources of vegan protein that I recommend are tofu, tempeh, lentils, beans. I'm a soy boy myself. I eat tofu, soy chunks, soy milk. Literally, I probably surpass the RDA of soy intake. But with that in mind, you do want to make sure you're getting a completely balanced diet. So as we know, like vegan sources of protein aren't as bioavailable compared to animal-based protein sources. This is not something that's groundbreaking. To fix this, you just eat a balanced diet, right? There may be certain proteins that don't complete the amino acid profile that we are looking for, but when you look at it on a whole full day basis, you're eating multiple foods. You're eating multiple ingredients. All of these ingredients compound together in your stomach, in your digestive system, and you break down those amino acids throughout the day. You can still achieve a great physique even when you're vegan. There's no doubt about that. Just look at some of these vegan bodybuilders we have today. This was me at my best. I was eating things like rice, peas, tofu, having my protein powder, oats, broccoli. So those are some important things to consider. But when you look at the overall diet, you want to be consuming predominantly whole food. But just to keep the diet interesting, you can add in a few snacks here and there. At the end of the day, guys, it's just about calories and macros. So to keep it simple, let's focus on hitting your calorie intake. And let's focus on hitting your macros. And getting most of those calories and macros from whole food groups, whole complete nutritious foods that supplement your exercise, your activity, and your goal of getting a good Greek god physique.
Recovery.
Most people often focus way too much on the training and nutrition parts of it, but they overlook the recovery aspect of it. If you're not sleeping enough, you're probably hindering your ability to potentially put on as much lean tissue as you can. One of the most important recovery factors is your sleep. Sleep is so essential because it is during your sleep that your muscle recovery process actually then starts, because this is when most of your growth hormones are actually released. In fact, there are several studies showing that if a lack of sleep can cause loss of lean muscle tissue despite having trained hard or had high protein, bro, none of that shit's gonna work if you're not sleeping properly, because this is where the muscles actually utilize all the nutrients you've given. This is your body's time to fight and revive the damage that you've done to the muscle. Using the nutrition that you've given it, you need ample rest time. Optimally, I would say you need at least 7 to 8 hours. 7 to 9 hours would be the best, but sleep is significant. See, but it's not just about the amount of sleep that you get, it's also about the sleep quality. And you know, your sleep quality can be affected by various things. It could be the environment that you're in, if it's too loud and you're not really getting the deep sleep that you need to, or if the environment is really bright, it's not putting you in a state of deep sleep. This is going to affect you because your sleep quality helps put your body in a state of recovery so that the appropriate amounts of hormones can be released. For example, testosterone. Now we know testosterone is the manliest hormone of them all. But here's the thing, man, like if you don't have quality sleep, you're going to see massive reduction in your testosterone, because it is during your sleep that it's the highest. And you'll notice if you sleep and you like wake up on a morning, you might have a boner. You might wake up with some wood, because that's a sign of high testosterone. You're getting good quality sleep. You should be getting morning wood as often as possible. That's a good sign that you're sleeping well and your body has released the amount of testosterone that it needs to, because for a man, peak testosterone levels have been shown to be at the beginning of their day. So if you want to maximize your muscle building and fat loss, then you need to sleep. Optimally, I would say 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Make sure you're getting a good dark room. If you're having difficulty sleeping, make sure, something I do is make sure I do not use any bright lights within the last hour of my sleep, getting to bed. So in the next hour, if I'm going to sleep, I turn all my blue lights off. There's this mode on your iPhone called the night shift mode. You can use this, and if you're reading a book on your phone or if you're browsing through, at least stay away from blue light. This is going to help you. Try to be consistent. Build a consistent sleep routine where you're sleeping on time, and try to sleep at the same time, get up at the same time. Build a routine around it so you can be more consistent about it. By taking care of your body's recovery needs, you're setting yourself up for success to building the body of your dreams. Number 4, supplements. Let's talk supplements. So when it comes to supplements, you really don't need everything in the pharmacy. The things I'd like to stick to, or I think are most important, while supplements are like the 2% of this whole process to building a Greek god physique, they can help. Supplements are just supplements. They're built for convenience. They're not to be worshipped. You do not need to prioritize them over your basics. So the things that I would recommend you supplement with are a good vegan protein source, protein powder. That could be a blend of pea and rice, or it could be brown rice protein, or it could be soy. Ideally, I would avoid from soy if you already consume soy in excess amounts a day. The next thing I would supplement with is creatine. It has been proven to show immense benefits in muscle building and neurological properties as well. If you have that extra few bucks on you, I would buy an essential amino acid. What this helps to do is to maximize your muscle protein synthesis, and it helps you to balance out your amino acid profiles in case you're not hitting a certain amount of leucine or any other of the 9 essential amino acids that are required, of which leucine in particular is of the utmost important in terms of muscle building. Another supplement that I would take are multivitamins. Well, multivitamins are literally just like an insurance. You could be eating a well-balanced vegan diet, but you may be missing out on trace minerals here and there, and you might not be hitting your RDA. So that's why I would recommend getting a multivitamin, so that you can have ensured that you've hit your vitamin C, your B12 and all of that, just to make sure to go the extra mile and make sure you're hitting the appropriate amount. Another thing I would recommend for sure that vegans should be supplementing with is vitamin B12. Now, this is not just for vegans. There have been plenty of studies showing the standard American population does not even reach the RDA of B12. Ideally, you should be consuming around 4 micrograms of B12. You usually get this as a vegan. You can get these in fortified cereals, you can get these in milks. Your soy milks, almond milk might have B12 in them as well. The other way you can get them is just through supplementation. I recommend you get a supplement. There's several forms of supplementing. B12, also known as cobalamin, you can find a spray where you spray it under your tongue, and the enzymes in your mouth basically break it down and utilize B12. You can also find tablets. There are several forms. You can find a syringe to put in the B12. There are various sources of B12. However, just find what you like. Gummy worms, if that's the case, there's several gummy worms that give you all the nutrients and B12 and everything you need. Find what you like. Have a consistent routine of getting your multivitamins, your essential B12s, etc.
Mindset.
Finally, one of my favorite parts, mindset. Now, when it comes to mindset, you need to be not just motivated, but actually showing up every day to the gym, every day getting your meals in, hitting your protein intake. You're gonna have a few days where you don't hit your protein or you don't go to that gym, but the point is, it's not linear. You're gonna have ups and downs. As long as you're steady and you have a goal in mind and you keep going, chances are you're going to make it. You are going to make it. If you don't give up, you are going to make it. So just be disciplined, build that discipline over time. For some people it's just like that, and for some people they have to put in a lot of time for it. So just make sure you show up for every workout, get in your protein in, get quality sleep, and just be consistent. And this is going to help you to achieve that Greek god physique that you're looking to get. A good way to build good mindset around this is to use less brain power and actually build a routine where you have to think a lot less. For example, if you're going to go to the gym after your work, make sure you pack your gym clothes, go to work with your gym clothes in your bag, and as soon as you're done work, you go straight to the gym. You have no other option but to go to the gym to go home. Find a gym that goes along the way. So try to make things easier for you, and you can build a habit upon this. This has been a lesson I've learned from the book Atomic Habits, and I think it works perfect. So that's all for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you guys get that vegan Greek god physique that you're looking for. I know I'm working on it. I've been in shape a while back, but I'm trying to get back. I'm on a bulk right now. Really want to put in quality time to building some lean tissue, and hopefully you guys will see what's here to come. And thank you so much for watching the video. If you like the video, smash the like button. And remember, that one productive thing that I told you have to do every video. Go and do that right now. As soon as you like the comment, subscribe if you haven't. I hope you guys nothing but contentment and all the best. And I wish you disciplined and achieve all of your goals. So subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.